using cheap implants in their arms in November in order to get access to restricted areas inside the Attorney General's headquarters, said Antonio Asif, General Director of Solisat, the company that distributes the microchip in Mexico. Attorney General Rafael Macedo and 160 of his employees were implanted at the cost of taxpayers of $150 for each rice grain size chip. More are scheduled to get tagged in coming months, and key members of Mexican military, the police, and the office of the president, Vicente Fox, might follow suit, as Steve said. So it was for security access, and it's becoming the chip lie dormant under the skin until it is read by electromagnetic scanner, blah blah blah. So you see, it is becoming part of job requirement. Friends, get it? We are there. And look at companies like banks that have strong rooms for sensitive data, valuables, cash. They may begin requiring their employees to be chipped with special security codes and those things under their skin to allow only those authorized to enter. So it is not a matter of if the world is going to enroll on the microchip system. It's a matter of when. And the issue here is this. We are there. Friends, get up. Those of you sleeping in the church, I'm warning you day and night. And I'm doing my best. I'm trying as much as possible to warn you. Listen, and listen very carefully. I know they will demonize it. Yeah, fine. But those of us who know our Bible should know that even in the tribulation, this godless world will not still repent. Bible says they will still curse God for bringing those plagues upon them. What about now? Don't be surprised. They won't believe it, but you get it. If you know you can't endure the things that are coming to happen on this planet. In 2006, February 13th, the MSNBC Financial Times carried a news item caption, US groups implant electronic tag in workers. And the news was about an Ohio-based company that has chipped 2 of its employees. It was the first official case of the workers in the US being tagged, according to the news. A private video surveillance company said it was testing the technology as a way of controlling access to a room where it holds security video footage for government agencies. So get it, it's just a matter of time. Some of you, the works you are doing will require, for security reasons, that you be chipped. What are you going to do about it? Let's look at it. A perfect example was recently, about a year or 2 ago, a US military officer released certain valuable documents to that company, WikiLeaks. And the case is still there. You've been hearing it in the news. And so the chip may become necessary to allow only those permitted to know who accessed this data, who used this data, who entered the room at this time. It is becoming a necessity. Get it, friends? Oh my goodness. I wish the Lord will open your eyes to see all these things. So the future scenario after the rapture of the church, get it? They are not going to get job unless they are compulsorily chipped. Are you getting it? It will not be optional after the rapture. And that is when the hunt and the persecution of those who become saved during the tribulation begins. So we are living in sensitive times. Not a time to play church or religion, but a time to get saved by the word of God. Are you getting it? And safeguard your salvation. This is not a time to be playing titles and be playing church and be playing religion, all those kind of things. Make sure your name is firmly secured in the Lamb's Book of Life, because I'm telling you, one day the roll is going to be called up yonder. This preaching will stop, and all these hurdles, all these things we are going to get a gospel, it will be over. And those of you who are not ready, you become preachers in those senses. Many of you will lose appetite for salvation, especially those of you in the church. You will not understand. That is why you don't have to be here. Are you getting it? You can't say Jesus didn't warn you. After all, he sent me to tell you, even if nobody's telling you. So warn your preachers. Are you getting it? So now let me look at the broadest area to me that I think this implant will become widespread is the area of the medical field or medical purposes. It is being used for a number of medical reasons. Are you getting it? I'm going to show you some of those things and give you cases. And the aim for chipping patients, according to advocates of the spy chip, is to identify high-risk patients suffering who needed emergency attention and response. So in their own interest, it will be better for them to have this GPS device to enable the medical authorities to monitor their situation even when they are far away at home. Are you getting it? So if there is an emergency, the chip is programmed to alert both authorities and the patient. Is it not a good idea? And it's already happening. For instance, Fox News carried an article published November 9, 2010 from Reuters. and it is captioned, "Look out, your medicine is watching you." Can you imagine that? Your medicine watching you. And let me read part of that. Novartis AG, that is a multi-pharmaceutical company based in Basel, Switzerland, plans to seek regulatory approval within 18 months for a pioneering tablet containing an embedded chip, microchip, bringing the concept of smart pill technology a step closer. So, for a start, the company began by implanting microchips into the shoulders of 20 of their patients, and this is how it works. The chips are two, one in the medicine that the patient is taking and the other in the shoulder of the patient. And this is what the chip does. The one in the pill sends signal to the shoulder when it is time to take the next medicine. So the medicine that has the chip will send a signal. You feel it on your shoulder, and if you fail to take the next medicine, it will send text messages to your cell phone. That is a cell phone of the patient. So it is very nice, attractive. Are you getting it? And there was another one. It was a story of how a sensor implanted in a paralyzed man's brain enabled him to control objects by using his thoughts. So those paralyzed is a nice idea, and it was published in the BBC in 2006, July 12. Are you getting it? And there was another one by AFP News, Tuesday, October 25th, 2011, and it was about shoes with inbuilt GPS device to help track down dementia suffering seniors who wander off and get lost. And they are said to hit that. There are a number of reasons that they are being used. Are you getting it? And to me, the worst case scenario, let me tell you about this before my time gets out. To me, the worst case scenario where masses will be chipped without their knowledge is in the wake of a global flu pandemic, which can be genetically engineered by either the terrorists or their elite allies working for the same evil cause of global domination. For instance, look at it. In the past 10 years, the world has witnessed flu pandemics from SARS, H1N1 to H5N1, and many, many more. And the sad reality is that many of you don't know. And there are reports of these things being manufactured, these diseases being manufactured in the lab. So it's not just a matter of getting these terrible flus, a very dangerous, contagious one, spread it across some airport or populated center. Masses get dying out of this thing, and they tell you the only way out is we get a chip implanted to monitor the disease, because we can't attend to everybody. You see dead bodies everywhere. Why won't you enroll on it? The BBC carried a news article recently, just 21st of June 2012, titled "Bird Flu Could Mutate to Cause Deadly Human Pandemic." And I read, the H5N1 bird flu virus could change into a form able to spread rapidly between humans, scientists have warned. Researchers have identified 5 changes that will allow the virus to start a deadly pandemic. Writing in the journal Science, they say it will be theoretically possible for these changes to occur in nature. A US agency has tried unsuccessfully to ban publication of parts of the research, fearing it could be used by terrorists to create a bioweapon. So this is it. Yeah, terrorists could design a biological disease that will kill many people across the world. They tell you the only way out is we can. Those of you who are learned, you go back to where people were going for injection, not knowing that was the way the disease was spreading. They were rather injecting them with the disease. I'll speak to you about that sometime later. Are you getting it? So the world is actually evil. The whole world lies under the power of the evil one. So in the future, you can imagine the elites can spread these diseases and get a lot of people chipped. Are you getting it? The days coming deserve a lot of attention. The Bible talks of a great tribulation as never before. Why? Because the wrath of God will be in full display worldwide. The intercessory role of Jesus Christ as the high priest will be over. He will bear the last burden of Senior Sunday, and I'm telling you, he will attend to the last prayer for mercy soon. He will soon turn his back to any petition, and then it will be Operation Save Yourself. It will be like the way God closed the ark on the people of Noah's generation. I'm telling you, God's patience is running out. As soon as the church departs, there will be nothing to shield the wrath of God from the ungodly. It will be notorious sinners versus a holy but an angry God. Evidence everywhere shows that our days are numbered.